This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Tonight, we mourn the loss of a true hero whose name will forever remind us of the honor, the courage, and the strength of our police officers in the face of such senseless violence.
Fallen but never forgotten. Tonight, we are learning more about the IMPD officer who made the ultimate sacrifice, protecting and serving the community. Police say Officer Brianne Lise was shot while responding to a domestic incident on the east side. She was called to an apartment on Edinburgh Square near 21st and Franklin around 2:45 this afternoon. Investigators say Officer Lise and a woman inside the apartment were shot. The officer later died. Police say the woman is stable at Methodist Hospital. The suspect is in custody.
The woman behind the badge was a mother to a young son, a best friend, and a generous soul who stepped up to help when she met someone who needed a little kindness. Tonight, RTV6's Cameron Riddle is learning more about the Officer Lise and her courage and compassion.
Officer Brianne Lise becomes the second woman killed in the line of duty under IMPD. Tonight, she is not only being remembered for the actions that took her life today, but the actions she took every day.
Today, we mourn the loss of a strong and well-respected officer. An officer that had a desire to be a police officer since she was a child.
That's part of the legacy now left behind by IMPD officer Brianne Lise, a Southport High School graduate, mother and daughter of a sheriff's deputy and 911 dispatcher. The 24-year-old killed in the line of duty had been on the force for 2 years.
She's described as a dedicated officer who showed compassion for the community. She is the example of the type of officer we want on this department.
Officer Lise's compassion could be seen on a daily basis and was captured here on Christmas 2018 when she and another officer delivered Christmas presents to a family that had no presents under the tree. Serving and not turning away from people in need is what Officer Lise did in a number of ways.
That's because rather than turn away, Officer Lise turned toward the danger. She heard the call, and she went bravely toward that which could do her harm, because she knew if she didn't, harm may come to others.
Officer Lise leaves behind a young son. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogshead is asking every resident of the city to remember that sacrifice tonight, as well as keeping the members of IMPD in mind as they deal with the loss of one of their own. In Indianapolis, I'm Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And as Cameron mentioned, Officer Lise is the second female Indianapolis police officer killed in the line of duty. The first was Officer Teresa Hawkins. In August of 1993, she was hit and killed by a drunk driver at East 36th Street and Emerson Avenue. She was also responding to domestic disturbance. Officer Hawkins had served with the police department for 5 years. She was 28 years old. A nationwide movement to light the night in blue took on extra significance in central Indiana tonight. Light It Blue recognizes those working on the front lines in the fight against COVID-19. But here in Indianapolis, the lights are also honoring Officer Lise. Several local landmarks are participating, including Lucas Oil Stadium, the IPL building, and the JW Marriott.
Our team coverage continues with RTV6's Cornelius Hawker. He explains what 2 different community organizations that support domestic violence victims are saying about this sad situation.
In the coming days and weeks, we will learn more from police about this tragic situation. But what we do know now is that Officer Brianne Lise and her fellow officers were there at that apartment complex responding to some sort of domestic dispute. After hearing about this, the Domestic Violence Network released a statement saying, "Our thoughts are with the loved ones of Officer Lise and the entire Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department." Officer Lise died doing what so many brave officers do day after day, responding to calls for help from victims of domestic violence and bravely coming to their rescue. They go on to say they will honor Officer Lise by continuing to provide resources to the community and letting victims know they are not alone. I also had the chance to talk to Rima Shahid. She's the Executive Director for Women for Change, and their mission is to advocate for the safety and health of all women here in Indiana.
My heart and prayers go out to her family. The photo of the officer with her young son keeps popping up on my news feed, and it's heart-wrenching. She was providing for her family. She was out in the community protecting her community, and her life was cut short.
Whenever police give us any more information, we'll be sure to pass it along to you. Mark.
Cornelius, thank you. Just last week, we reported on the increase in domestic violence because of coronavirus outbreak. Now, if you or someone you love is in danger or in their home because of a partner, reach out to places like Beacon of Hope and the Julian Center. They are ready to help during this pandemic.
Now to the latest on the COVID-19 pandemic and how it is impacting healthcare, jobs, daily life, and more. Tonight, we are finding out how first responders are protecting themselves from the coronavirus. EMS workers are the first to come in contact with patients. Their protocol is constantly being updated. Right now, their day starts by sanitizing everything in their ambulance. Then they make sure they're fully stocked with personal protective equipment. When they get a call, they put their respirator, eye protection, and gowns on before meeting patients at their front door.
It's scary, but it's our job, so we're here to take care of people no matter what is going on. So this is the job that we signed up for.
EMS crews are tasked with treating as many patients at home as possible to avoid exposure at hospitals. But patients will be taken to the hospital if necessary. And now to the latest on the spread of COVID-19 in Indiana from the State Department of Health. 245 deaths are now confirmed. More than 6,300 people have tested positive. More than 32,000 have been tested.
Worldwide, there are more than 1.5 million cases of COVID-19. More than 462,000 are in the United States. More than 95,000 people have died globally, including more than 16,000 in the U.S. More than 354,000 people have recovered around the world. There are more than 25,000 recoveries in the United States. At today's White House press briefing, Dr. Anthony Fauci said social distancing is working and the projected number of deaths in the U.S. is dropping.
I get questions a lot, Dr. Birx and I, about these numbers, the projections that you went with from 100,000, 200,000, now down to 60,000. That's a sign that when, as I keep saying, when you take the data you have and you reinsert it into the model modifies. Data is real, model is hypothesis, okay? So that's what you have to do, and that's what I think we're seeing.
Dr. Fauci said that while the number of COVID-19 deaths is increasing right now, there is a big decrease in the need for hospitalizations.
Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears says he will aggressively prosecute anyone who tests positive for COVID-19 and take steps to infect others. At this point, the prosecutor's office is not aware of any incidents happening in Marion County. However, Mears says numerous criminal charges could apply if someone knows they have the virus and coughs or sneezes on other people.
There's also an argument that it's battery. Because, I mean, you are touching another person with, if you're sneezing, if you're coughing, with the intent to hurt that person. And so we would definitely push the limits of the law in order to make sure that we could keep people safe and hold people accountable.
Prosecutor's office has already started charging people who violate the stay-at-home order. Most charges across the state are connected with other crimes like drunk driving.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers initiative connects you to job opportunities and resources, but that's not all. We're also committed to helping you find unemployment resources, especially during the economic crisis caused by the pandemic. More than 133,000 people filed for unemployment this week in Indiana. Today, during the state's daily briefing on COVID-19, the Department of Workforce Development Commissioner acknowledged that the agency has had some technical issues with the filing process.
We have had some complaints or some concerns about calls being transferred, and when they're transferred, they end up getting dropped. We're working with our IT team to make sure that that issue is being addressed.
The Department of Workforce Development is also setting up a website for those who are self-employed or independent contractors who are trying to apply for benefits available under the federal stimulus package. Right now, people trying to apply for those benefits are being automatically rejected by the state's system. And a reminder, many companies are hiring during this difficult time. That includes several big box stores like Walmart and Meijer, grocery stores, convenience stores, drug stores, pizza chains, and senior care facilities. You can find details on who's hiring and the benefits they offer, as well as links to apply on our website, hiringhoosiers.com.
Still ahead, you know about the need for food and blood donations during the COVID-19 outbreak, but the pandemic is also causing a shortage of breast milk donations. Why those donations are so important and how you can give.
Social distancing and self-isolation are risk factors for overdose.
But access to life-saving drugs like Narcan is limited during the pandemic. How an Indiana woman is changing that. Kevin.
Severe storms last night, and look at this snow tonight. We've got to talk about our colder pattern. We'll do that after this.
Working for you. From the station working for you, this is an RTV6 special report.
For those struggling with drug addiction, social distancing does not stop a potential fatal overdose. In an overdose emergency, you should always call 911 for help. But some Central Indiana police departments have suspended administering Narcan due to the risk factors for first responders. One Indiana woman wants all Hoosiers to always be prepared in the case of an overdose and is offering free resources and training that you can take advantage of from home.
Kokomo mother Antonia Sawyer's mission is to help other Hoosiers save lives. Her organization, Ship Happens, provides free life-saving medication that can be used to save someone from a fatal overdose.
If you think it won't happen to you, then carry it for everybody else. We cannot find recovery without life, and naloxone really enables breath. And so if we want to continue to grow a recovery community, we need to make sure that we're carrying this for everyone.
Antonia is social distancing at home to limit the spread of COVID-19. And now she says she is busier than ever. In all of 2019, Ship Happens sent out about 280 kits. As of this April, she has shipped more than 260.
Social distancing and self-isolation are risk factors for overdose. It's extremely important to always have naloxone on hand, but really during this pandemic, people who use drugs are extremely vulnerable to overdose.
It's very simple to get your free naloxone kit from Ship Happens. Just go to the Ship Happens Facebook page, watch this pinned video right at the top. It will take you to YouTube to watch a 7-minute clip to be trained. Once you finish watching it, go back to Facebook, send Antonia a private message with your details, and she will get your kit shipped to you right to your home.
If anyone wants a kit and they feel like they're being a burden, they are not. Please do not reach out because you think, oh, I'll save that for someone else. There's plenty of kits to go around. I don't want that to be a concern. Please take advantage of the program if you need a kit, and I'm more than happy to ship it out.
Each kit has 3 vials of naloxone, 3 intramuscular syringes, a treatment referral, quick guide for use, and a copy of Aaron's Law. The kits are a chance to get users on a path to recovery, giving them more life with loved ones.
It's been more about making sure that I'm a resource for other naloxone distribution organizations that are having issues due to social distancing, and I want to make sure that I'm available for them and until that they can reestablish their services, or I can provide outreach until it discontinues.
And Ship Happens has and will continue to distribute these kits for free after the current pandemic comes to an end. And I reached out to several of our local police departments and spoke with Lawrence Police Chief David Hoffman. He made the decision to temporarily suspend the practice of administering Narcan after analyzing the risk to medical professionals. If you call 911, Lawrence Police will still respond to overdose runs to provide aid until medics arrive. Chief Hoffman tells me once this public health crisis passes, they will reevaluate the decision to do what is best for first responders and the community.
In addition to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, people in Morgan County are now dealing with tornado damage. Today, the National Weather Service confirmed an EF1 tornado touched down in Mooresville last night. This is some of the damage in the downtown area. The second floor of one of those buildings collapsed. A Mooresville resident described what it was like as the tornado moved through.
But you could hear like the side of the house just being like hit left and right. So it was definitely terrifying.
Fortunately, there are no reports of any injuries in Mooresville. Kevin, quite the scene there.
Yeah, Mark, 24 hours ago, the storms were leaving central Indiana. The tornado report there was at 8:43 last night. 100-mile-per-hour winds, spent less than a mile on the ground. That was last night. Severe storms. This is what's going on tonight. I want to take you out to Montgomery County, and we've had snow reported in central Indiana in multiple spots. Dave Freeman, thanks for sharing this with us. That snow, not amounting to much, but it does grab your attention. Now, this is southern Miami County. The Schrock family sent this. Look at that, out in the farmer's field, putting down some fertilizer, but yet it is snowing. The farming challenges never seem to end. There are the temperatures around central Indiana, 40 in Bloomington, 38 in Kokomo, 36 in the metro area. Temperatures, they're destined for the lower 30s tonight. We will have freeze conditions tomorrow morning, and the wind finally started to calm down a little bit. But look at what I'm saying, calming down, and it's still going to gust over 20 miles per hour. During the overnight hours, we're seeing the skies start to clear, and the snow showers that we had move away. Temperatures lower 30s to the north, lower 30s in central Indiana, and you'll see there isn't much of a temperature range, anywhere from 30 to about 33 degrees for the overnight temperatures, and first thing in the morning we'll drop into the 30s, I think 5 out of the 7 days in my forecast. Sunshine to the rescue tomorrow. Temperatures, they'll warm to about 40 by late morning, but they never reach 50. We'll stay in the 40s through the day tomorrow. Temperatures with a mixture of clouds and sunshine, well shy of our 62 average high temperature for this time of year. Some spots, Terre Haute, Bloomington on south, may touch 50 degrees. Most of us will have to wait, and good things come to those who wait. Dry and 57 Saturday. Sunday, 60 degrees on Easter Sunday, and that will come with some showers. As you look at the 7-day planner, over the next 7 days, the cool pattern settles in. And beyond this, even into early May, it looks like below average temperatures will be around. There are all the temperatures in the lower 30s. Of course, I'm broadcasting from home. I'll do that whenever we're not having severe weather. And since I am home, I'm going to start a campaign to see if Mrs. Gregory will join me for the 7-day forecast. She can deliver it in an envelope, and then I'll share it with all of you. Amanda?
Well, we know at least Rory will join you if not. Well, donations are one way people across central Indiana are working together during the pandemic. But unlike money, food, and blood, you might not realize there's a need for breast milk donations. The Milk Bank in Indianapolis provides pasteurized donor human milk. Right now, the Milk Bank is struggling to get enough donated breast milk to serve their healthcare partners. The Milk Bank's highest priorities are premature and ill infants in hospital neonatal intensive care units. I spoke with the Milk Bank today, and the executive director says it is safe to donate during this time.
As far as we know at this time, it is completely heat inactivated. And so our pasteurization process is safe. The donation process is safe, and that's really important. And we really want to continue to protect the milk supply because just like every other type of tissue donation, it is really life-saving. And for those infants without access and with critical medical needs, the donor milk is not just nutrition, it's actually medicine.
Healthy mothers are encouraged to donate to the Milk Bank. The Milk Bank can ship materials and supplies if donor mothers are unable to bring milk to a depot. For more information on how to become a donor and to learn more about the Milk Bank, check out this story on theindychannel.com.
Today, a local blood center received a key donation that could directly help save the lives of COVID-19 patients.
Especially for patients who are critically ill, I think this is going to be really, really important.
Sarah Dilley donated plasma at Versity Blood Center in downtown Indianapolis. Her gift is even more special because she recently recovered from COVID-19. That means her body has developed tools to fight off the virus, and her plasma could help current coronavirus patients.
My body's created antibodies to the COVID virus, and since we don't have a medication that's directly against this virus, and since we don't have a vaccine yet, the antibodies from my plasma should be able to help another patient fight off the virus.
Historically, we've done this in the United States and elsewhere for Ebola and even in influenza. But for COVID, we're only just now learning.
Versity is looking for more donors. Anyone who has tested positive for COVID-19 and has been symptom-free for at least 2 weeks can contact the blood center. Here's the number. It's 317-916-5150. RTV6 is working together with the United Way of Central Indiana. The COVID-19 Community Economic Relief Fund supports organizations that serve people and families affected by the pandemic. You can donate to the fund by texting HELP 2020 to 91999.
You do not have to be part of a big organization to make a big difference during this crisis. Here are more examples of how Hoosiers are stepping up and working together.
We are putting the focus here at RTV6 on people working together to help out during this time. People in the sewing community are answering the call to help. Jessica Oldfield, who lives in Muncie, received a call from a friend who works at a midwife clinic in Nashville. She says they have a shortage of masks. Jessica already had extra fabric on hand, so she got busy using 100% cotton, a pattern, and extra elastic. She's already made more than 20.
Just feeling like I had some purpose with my time of being home.
Jessica has reached out to clinics in Muncie where she plans to send the extra that she has made. Today, community members in LaPel took part in what they are calling a quarantine cruise. They drove down Main Street so everyone could continue their social distancing in their cars. Many of them brought food donations to give to the LaPel Food Bank. They say this was organized in less than 24 hours and 30-plus cars came out for the cruise.
And we want to hear more stories of Hoosiers working together during this tough time. Share the positive efforts going on in your community by emailing us at workingforyou@rtv6.com. We'll be right back.
6 working together, working for you.
From the station working for you, this is an RTV6 special report.
Indiana's stay-at-home order means fewer drivers on the road and fewer crashes. One national watchdog group says Indiana should be doing more to save you money on your car insurance. Sharon Freeman usually drives 30 minutes round trip to her job on Post Road in Indianapolis, but now she's not driving much at all. She's an Allstate customer. Allstate is one of several insurance companies offering customers some relief, an average of 15% based on April and May premiums. American Family Insurance, Geico, and Liberty Mutual are also giving customers a break. The Consumer Federation of America wrote a letter to the Indiana Department of Insurance Commissioner asking the agency to put pressure on insurance companies.
Our highways and roads are empty compared to what we normally see. And this is all around the country with reductions in driving upwards of 50, 60, in some places 70%. And the math on this isn't very complicated. If you're not driving, you can't cause accidents. And the insurance companies, of course, know that before anybody because they receive the claims.
The Indiana Department of Insurance posted information on their website for consumers, but we haven't heard back on whether they're reaching out to insurance companies on behalf of Indiana consumers.
Many restaurants are still open during the pandemic, providing carry-out and delivery service. RTV6's Brad Brown is finding out some are going a step further, helping customers find their inner chef, or in this case, their inner boss.
In the right hands, rice, fish, and a few other ingredients become a delicious dish at Sushi Boss. Their 2 Indy area locations are both open for takeout and delivery. From traditional rolls to rolls in bowls, it's a quick take for about $9 or $10.
Our takeout and delivery has, exceeded our expectations since we started our own online delivery app. All the third-party services, too, are helping out with waiving delivery fees for the customers on some nights.
But let's say you'd like to try your hand at making a few rolls yourself, or maybe with the kids. Jason and his crew have put together a take-home sushi kit, now available at Sushi Boss.
I have 2 young kids at home as well, so I started looking online of different kits that I could buy for my family. And I started thinking, why wouldn't we put a sushi kit together? Because it includes dinner as well. Just kind of something interactive and dinner at the same time.
The California Roll Kit comes with enough to make 4. There's perfectly cooked rice. That's the sushi part. The nori, that is a seaweed wrapper. Cucumber sticks, sliced to fit just right. Crab legs, that is crab with a K, by the way. They are cooked, too. Avocado, pickled ginger, and wasabi as well. Now, to become a true sushi master, it takes about 10 years of training in knife technique, rice cooking procedures, and fish selection. We've got about 10 minutes and a YouTube video. Sushi Boss has locations downtown. There's also one out at Keystone at the Crossing. I'll be honest, it's not the easiest thing. There is a bit of skill involved, but let's be honest, even the mistakes are pretty tasty.
Donation or volunteer today.
You can find everything you need to know about the COVID-19 pandemic anytime on our website at theindychannel.com/coronavirus. That includes resources for people who are unemployed and small businesses. Kevin.
After that cold start, sunshine goes to work. Temperatures move from around the freezing mark to 47 during the afternoon hours with partly to mostly sunny skies, a little warmer over the weekend. Mark?
Thanks for joining us for RTV6 News at 11. Good morning, Indiana. Heads your way at 4:30 in the morning. Good night, everyone, and be safe.